You listen to episode 61 of Fresh Floppies, so you're welcome for everything. In perpetuity.
Hey, what's up to our sidekicks and henchfolk out there in the Geek Nation? You're currently listening to Fresh Floppies. Fresh Floppies is a show wherein Noel and I, JD, will discuss books that are coming out today, New Comic Book Day, NBCD. I did it. With a little help, thank you. And we I wasn't going to get there without you, so I appreciate that.
I get all the credit.
We're going to spoiler-free talk about some books that are coming out today, and I'll tell you, we're going to start with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
No, we're not. We're going to start with a letter.
Oh, let's start with a letter. That's a much better idea.
We're going to start with the letter. Yeah. We actively pulled up the letter beforehand and like, oh, we're going to start with the letter. Then we forgot to start with the letter.
Listen,
but we're going to start with the letter.
ADHD is a bitch.
It's a bitch. It's a baby bitch. A little baby bitch.
Little bitch baby.
Little bitch baby in your bitch baby brain. Anyway, this came from, I don't recognize this person, Christopher.
Saint Saucy. Good night.
The title saying, "You'll review Street Sharks, but not Space Ghost."
Wait, we didn't review Street Sharks. Okay.
Okay. Get on it.
Sorry.
Come on. Also, you forgot to, not counting Bucky O'Hare or Battletoads, we mentioned Battletoads. Of course, you didn't mention the Wild West Cowboys of Moo Mesa.
What?
And cows, in which cows rode horses. That's right. They were cow people. Ding ding. They were cow people. Cow people as sheriffs and cowboys.
Oh.
They were anthropomorphic cows. So if anybody's only listening to this episode and didn't listen to like 2 ago, we reviewed Biker Mice from Mars, which was large anthropomorphic mice from Mars,
and then they're bikers as well. I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah, well, it's in the title. Some of the, that's actually the conflict of the book. They have to learn how to ride.
Training wheels at first.
It's just, because it's not as cool as biker mice or sidecar mice from Mars.
That's right.
Or tricycle mice from Mars.
They're like, we got to step up our game.
Trike mice from Mars. Yeah. Anyway, also he mentions, we forgot Mighty Ducks, which was anthropomorphic ducks from space, came to Earth to play hockey and fight bad guys. There was a Mighty Ducks cartoon.
Is that based on the movies?
It's based on the logo.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because the main guy had that hockey mask looking thing. Apparently, according to Chris, it had a voice cast almost as epic as Gargoyles, but wasn't as well received. Take your word for it. It came in at the tail end of Disney Afternoon. He also adds an aside, I know Black Tribbles is no longer, but maybe you could talk Randy and Lennon to coming back for a March Madness next year to talk about cartoons you loved and cartoons you wish they would make now. Okay. Didn't we do that? Or didn't they do that? They did like a week-long best
March
cartoons
Madness,
of March. Yeah.
I thought so, yeah.
Anyway, he also wants to add, JD, you may remember this, but you also may be too old for it.
Ow.
Oof. Do you recall the names of Mickey and Minnie's nephews? They never caught on quite like the triplets, and I just want you to know I'm not the only one who remembers them.
I don't remember them.
I looked it up before this because I didn't know, and it's like Morty and Ferdy or Fergie or something like that.
Sure.
They're terrible names.
I'll tell you what though.
Morty and Ferdy.
I hate them.
They look like little shitheads. I'll tell you that. They have
put
little
on
crowns and shit.
The more recent DuckTales.
Ooh.
It's delightful.
Yeah.
I laughed out loud several times. I was amazed.
I've watched the first 4 episodes about 8 times. Haven't gotten farther yet.
Yeah, you keep trying it over again. It's really fun.
Oh yeah.
It's really
David
good.
Tennant as Scrooge.
Scrooge.
Super great.
Yeah.
He mentions at the top of the no Space Ghost.
Hey, we didn't review Space Ghost.
We didn't review the first issue. He was like, "Oh, you didn't review the first issue. Can you guys?" Or he didn't even ask if we can. It was just like maybe the second one. I think I might have messaged him that. Third one finally came out, and it was like, I don't know. I
mean, he asked for it, so we should at least try.
We'll have to catch up on the first 3, and then when 4 comes out. Yeah. You heard it here. Second. We didn't discuss beforehand. Thank you for the email, Chris.
Appreciate it.
All of this is wonderful. Yeah, man, more cartoons of animals that act like humans. Let's roll. Bluey. Does that count?
Yeah.
Now we'll get into Battletoads.
Ninja Turtles.
Dime store Battletoads. Some call them the Turtles.
By Jason Aaron and Joelle Jones and Rhonda Patterson. I have really been looking forward to this because I have felt... I was excited about the series that came out from IDW, and is this also previously IDW, same company, and there's like 150 issues of it, and
I think that's exact, not like
tried. Well, then there's also a wrap-up issue, right? But
then there's like
Alpha
mini-series like Armageddon Gang and City
Jenica.
at War and there's
a lot of issues,
200 plus issues of shit.
And every time I've tried a couple times to read that series, and I always just fall off because I don't care about a lot of the other characters that are introduced.
Yeah.
So I was looking forward to this, hoping a fresh start. Turns out it's not. From what I understand, it's just continuing from issue 150. This is like basically 151, legacy numbering. But it is a great jumping on point. For some reason, our buddy Raph is in dire straits. I don't know if we know that he ended up here. I don't want to ruin it.
No. So it is a continuation, but there's an undescribed amount of time passed and no one is in the same place as they were at the end of 150.
Okay.
So it's not like 151 to me.
Right. It's like 160.
It's more like all that shit happened. Don't worry about it right now.
Yeah.
So I think it's definitely more of a reboot.
And the first 4 issues, each one is about a different turtle. So this one's the Raphael turtle. Book.
And we did get a taste of where Donatello is in the Alpha, yeah. This didn't read like a. So when we read Alpha, that actually was like 150.5.
Yeah, you're right. That's true.
So many plot points that I had no idea what the hell was going on.
Characters I didn't care about.
It required 3 pages of character bios to like get into the first to the second story.
Yeah.
This does not anywhere near that. This is a very clean start point of Raphael in prison.
Would you recommend it?
I absolutely would recommend
it. Yeah, it's a great jumping on point.
I loved the art. I loved Jason Aaron's not going to beat those noir allegations in regards to how he writes everything. It's just like all overly expository or voiceover, but for a character like Raphael, that really works. Yeah, Raphael angry in prison, stopping other prisoners from escaping, was just so slick. It was really, really well done. This was almost like a in continuity little aside character study, and I liked it a lot, and I hope he does that for everyone.
And from what I can tell, it looks like we were talking about the Alpha episode where 75% of it was like these characters we don't care about. It looks like they're being continued in another book. Mutant something.
It's in the little backy.
They're getting their own series that I won't bother with.
Unfortunately, I won't either. Mutant Nation number 1.
That's it. Mutant Nation.
So there's this is the beginning of the new Turtles line. So there will be the TMNT proper, which is by Jason Aaron, and a rotating artists for the first 4. They haven't really announced what's going to happen after that, but
and the artists, by the way, are Raphael Albuquerque, Cliff Chang, and Chris Burnham.
Yeah, it's Raphael Albuquerque is doing
Robertson.
Michelangelo, Cliff Chang's doing Leonardo, and Burnham is doing which one's left? Donatello.
Donna. Yeah.
But I don't know what Derek Robertson's doing. Do you think Derek Robertson's going to be a whole arc, or
he will pick up the baton over the next 4 issues until the reunion is complete? So maybe it's 4 issues and then 4 issues to get them all together. So maybe he's doing the 4th or 5 through 8.
Okay, cool. This is, and they said that this is like a year long thing.
Yeah.
For this first opening salve. I don't know. This is good. Joelle Jones' art is fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah.
There's an action sequence in here where it's basically wordless. Jason Aaron loves to overwrite, but he also has the wherewithal to pull all of it if the art demands it. And there is a 2-page fight sequence in here that is just absolutely awesome. Yeah.
That looks painful.
Little bits and pieces of just like, ooh, ah. It's a very confident, contained great first issue.
Yeah,
I thought this was great. Did this meet your expectations?
Yes, this is exactly what I wanted.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Absolute Power Origin. So Absolute Power is the DC event going on right now, spearheaded by Amanda Waller, who has sucked all of the powers out of the superheroes. And so they're all on the run trying to figure out how to come back. And there are a bunch of Amazo robots of different hero amalgamations.
We don't really know yet.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So Absolute Power Origins is a 3-issue miniseries focusing on Amanda Waller. And I said, I don't care about Amanda Waller. I never have. She's just someone who's in the background going, oh, I'm going to make a Suicide Squad. I'll blow up your head if you don't do this stuff.
Oh, this is a 3-issue mini?
Yeah.
I thought it was just a one-shot because it
works
functions as a one-shot.
Yes, it does. It's called Origins. So maybe the second one will be about one of the other characters.
Or, I hope not.
Since we already know the origins of the other two.
I actually just hope this is all
Brainiac and
Waller year one. Because this takes her to a one touch point in her life. And, she goes from here to the head of all the things. So there's a lot more story to tell in regards to her rise.
But, yeah, watching her origin story, I was immediately enraptured. I thought this was really, really good. John Ridley, who did the other history of the DC universe, one of my favorite books from like 2 years ago.
Yeah, but he also did
I Am Batman,
which
I didn't care about.
Yeah, the future state stuff was fun, but completely lost track of all Jace Fox.
Yeah.
And then he also did a run of Black Panther that no one seems to like.
Oh yeah, no.
I haven't heard a single good thing about it. I read like the first 4 or 5 and I was like, this is cool.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like 15 issues that no one talks about. And a couple of other indie stuff. So like he's an amazing writer. It's mileage varies, hit or miss, but this was wonderful.
You liked it too?
This is really strong.
Right?
Yeah, it was really, really strong. And the art wasn't flashy or did anything for me, but it was really, really well plotted, paced, and the panel work was great. Yep. It is a Talking Heads comic.
It really is.
But they find nice little ways to at least add some dynamism in between the heavy dialogue pages. But even though it was heavy dialogue, read very breezy.
Oh, yeah.
Super breezy read.
Yeah.
This is how people talk. I really, really like this issue. Anybody that's reading Absolute Power, is this absolutely necessary? No. Is this a really, really solid, fun read? Yeah, absolutely.
Recommend.
More so than, I actually like this more so than Task Force 7, Task Force 511, issue 2.
I read that one too. Task Force 7, number 2.
Is it all right? What is it?
It's fine.
Who's the target in this one?
I don't remember.
Oh.
It was 5 days ago.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to remember that. Let's stay in Absolute Corner.
Absolute Power tie-in Green Arrow number 14 by
Joshua Williamson with art by Sean Izaakse. While you're looking it up, this is just a continuation of what's going on with Green Lantern. I have not been reading this series, but it heavily ties into Absolute Power. We found out that Oliver is working directly with Amanda Waller to round up his friends, and I know that there's, reasons. None of them seem very good at all. So I'm just kind of along for the ride.
Joshua Williamson, MNK Nuhualpan, and Sean Izaakse.
Cool.
Yeah.
This is just more of his family and the Arrow family, which is about a dozen people strong.
He's so many family members.
He's a Justice League team of
Unto
archers.
Himself, yeah.
And Canary's not even there.
That's true. I am a sucker for a family, a Bat family, Arrow family, Flash family. So I like.
Yeah, this was fun.
This was fun. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this book. It's a little bit more tied in, or it's a little bit more keyed into what's going on in Absolute Power, but it also still is a side quest. If you're not reading Green Lantern proper.
Arrow?
Much like Green Arrow, sorry. If you're not reading Green Arrow proper, much like the Green Lantern book, the Absolute Power tie-in was really fun.
I didn't read the Green Lantern one. Was that good?
Yeah, we talked about it.
Oh, did we?
I talked about it, and you flipped through it, and you were like, holy shit, this looks great.
Oh, it's had the 3 reveals.
Yeah.
That I was like, oh, damn.
You're
right.
so far, all of these absolute power and you read Superman, which you really liked.
I really like that.
So far, the actual series tie-ins have been pretty fucking strong.
Yeah.
Also the Wonder Woman one was pretty good.
I didn't read that one yet.
It was my least favorite version of Tom King.
Okay.
As in, he's just take like the Amazo that's fighting all of the Wonder people, is reciting Charles Dickens the whole time.
Oh, fuck off. That's Tom King. It's my least favorite version of Tom King too. Yeah.
But it's still a good book. But yeah, you're like, I don't know where this reference is. Other than Detective Chimp calls it out, like, oh, that's Charles Dickens.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Great.
Next. Yeah, what are we talking about next? You want to keep on your...
Doing the DC path?
Yeah, let's...
So, James Tynion IV, Alvaro Martinez Bueno, and Jordi Belair have brought us the sequel to Nice House by the Lake, and this is Nice House by the Sea.
Another body of water.
Yeah, and I kind of was curious how that group of people... Like, are they going to move? Are they able to adjust where they're located? No. This is an entirely different house with an entirely different cast. Which I was not... It's so obvious. Of course, like, why wouldn't they do that? We do know that... what's his name? Not Harold. Maybe it was Harold.
Guy.
The guy from the previous one. There are multiple versions of him that are doing the same thing all over the world. So this is another. This guy's name is Max, and he also has the white glasses that you can't see his eyes through, and a wholly different version of events that's going on and different characters. And these are all. Whereas the last guy got mostly friends. Mm-hmm. This guy has made friends with like actors. I want to say politicians, like people who seem like they might actually be a little bit more important than the last group of people. Historian, a 74-year-old historian, a singer, recipient of the Golden Line of the Venice Biennale.
For anyone that hadn't read Nice House by the Lake, the basic setup is that a stranger collects 12 of his friends or 12 of his college friends into a lake house, and then we find out at the end of the first issue,
first day,
that the world around them is ending, and they were brought here to survive it.
Yeah, and
they can't leave, and then it just kind of magically, mystically, sci-fi goes from there.
Yeah,
and this just seems like another version of it.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's exactly what it is. I liked it a lot. As you know, if you like Nice House by the Lake, or Nice House by the Lake, you will just as much like Nice House by the Sea. It continues the story with different characters.
I need to finish it. Before, one thing I realized, we don't have any Marvel books today.
Oh, wow.
But that's okay. It doesn't always have to be. No. But I want to talk about a book that came out today, BRZRKR, Facefull of Bullets, written by Keanu Reeves, Jason Aaron, with art by Salvador Larroca and Lee Lothridge. JD, you did not finish the BRZRKR miniseries.
I read the first issue.
Really? That's it?
That's as far as I got.
I thought you went a little farther than that.
Nope.
I read the whole 12, and it was weird.
I found out Keanu Reeves is an immortal, and that's about where I left off.
Yeah. He's a demigod.
Oh.
Yeah,
good for him.
His daddy was a god. His mommy was a savage lady. And his power overfilled, like he's basically a battery for hate.
Oh.
And he has to unload it in order to like not explode.
Huh.
So that's the whole thing. Okay. That's why it's like hyper violence, because he just like goes into a feral state and has to get all of it out. It basically just absorbs
the world's hate.
Basically.
Gotcha.
Or at least that's the implication. And then that whole series was everyone trying to figure it out and harness it. It was a weird series. I'm glad I read it. Can't say I liked it. It was like 12 issues with 5 issues of story.
Yeah, just a lot of violence.
Yeah, the whole middle section, nothing actually happened. And then so much happened in like the last 2 issues that it was like, this is a whole mini-series worth of plot points that you just throw out.
Yeah.
So I have not been reading these Since then, they've been doing a lot of one-shots because our main character is immortal. You can put him in different eras, and none of them are connected. So there's like a feudal Japan one,
That's cool.
Barbarian one. This is, hence by the title, Facefull of Bullets, a Western. And the only reason I picked it up is because of Jason Aaron. And then I almost put it back down because it was Salvador Larroca art, which I don't care for.
Nope.
He's very much a tracer, which there's a better word for it, but swiper, whatever. He takes pre-existing stuff and just works over it.
Yeah.
To my surprise, this was the best version of Salvador Larroca. Most of it is really, really well put together and paced. There are a couple of scenes where it's clearly a photo reference with not much manipulation, but the action and the panel work is awesome. It is Jason Aaron kind of recapturing some of the Southern bastards, some of the scalped of it all, where it's very much just like the book is sweaty, it's dirty. No one is a good person. But our character B is hanging and is let down and stumbles across a woman and a man getting married, and on their wedding day the man gets shot up and the woman asks him to take care of the murderers. And it's just like an old school quick Western. It's a one shot. It's done. This was pretty strong.
Tempting.
It is the best I've read of BRZRKR.
Okay.
Out of all of it. But I know it's just a one shot. So like if you're already if you're already in the pocket of this series, which a lot of people are, it's awesome.
Great.
If you just like Westerns but don't even know what the fuck this is, go for it.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I would say this is pretty damn fresh.
I'm on board. Is it a one shot?
Yeah, it's a one shot.
Okay.
I don't love the price tag, but it's
$7.99.
$9.99.
Oof. Well, that's a thick boy.
It's a thick boy, but it's.
But I would still say $7.99.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it's. I am more excited what they're doing with BRZRKR post the series than I was in the series at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple of one shots that have come out since it wrapped up. Zatanna, Bring Down the House from DC's Black Label by Mariko Tamaki and Javier Rodriguez. This is issue 2. So Zatanna, this is a Zatanna origin story, which I did not know going in.
Black Label, baby.
Oh. Are all Black Labels origins?
No, but they're not connected to continuity.
Gotcha. Yeah, I see it. I see it. What did you think?
I love this book.
We both loved issue 1.
Yes.
From what I recall.
This book is dope as hell. Javier Rodriguez art is the star. Mariko Tamaki is the spine. This is so cool. I love this book. I love this version of Zatanna too, who is wildly apprehensive and self-doubting.
I don't do magic. I do tricks.
Because of childhood trauma.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
And the scene transitions are so energetic and really fun. Like Javier Rodriguez uses like action and negative space to separate his panels a bunch, and it's crazy dynamic. I love Javier Rodriguez.
Me too.
He is one of my absolute favorites.
He can it can be a little weird at times, but
I like him.
That doesn't bother me.
People get him and Marcos Martin mixed up all the time.
I used to.
The biggest difference between the two is Marcos Martin. They have the same kind of like clean line, but Javier Rodriguez really screws around with format more so than like he plays with sound effects, with negative space, with like he really like goes hard, and his color palette is way more colorful than Marcos Martin. Marcos Martin is more of like a stark kind of white pale. This is just the rainbow. Yeah, I love this book.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. I like it a lot too, and I really like this. I like seeing Zatanna in her infancy, so to speak.
Yeah,
with
her Vegas.
Yeah, she's just a Vegas. She just does tricks. She does card tricks. No magic.
Also, of all the Black Label books, this one is not super prestige format ticks me off.
Oh, you want it to be bigger.
I wanted to like
the big magazine size.
His art needs to be that big, but I think this is a 6-issue miniseries, so that would probably be just like untenable. All those big boys are usually 3 to 4
3,
tops.
that's true, yeah. Fresh AF.
Fresh AF. Speaking of big boys, though,
Uh-huh.
I want to talk about a big boy. This was not on either of our radars, but I just grabbed it really quick. It's The Big Burn, written by Joe Henderson and with art by Lee Garbett. This is the team that did Skyward,
right,
and something else.
The image book where gravity stopped working.
Yeah.
On the planet.
Yeah. I remember it being really fun. But
it was fun. Yeah.
I don't remember the ending.
Me neither.
How did they fix it?
And this is from Distillery.
Yeah, this is Distillery, or Distillery. Yeah, Distillery. I didn't know anything about this book going in, so I'm unfortunately going to spoil the premise for you. It is 2 bank robbers in love.
Okay, I'm in.
They meet.
I immediately like that.
On a botched heist. Like,
okay.
Their meet cute is he goes to rob it, but she's already in the process of robbing the bank.
Come on.
It's so fucking cute. They're great at what they do. They have fun doing it. They are deeply in love until they finally get caught. And the guy, in the moment when they're in the paddy wagon, makes a deal with the devil to get them out.
Oh,
so they're out.
Okay.
They sell their souls for freedom.
Oh.
But then they realize they kind of need their souls because they don't even love or feel anything anymore. So he decides to mount a heist to rob the devil.
To rob their devil
and get
to
their
get
souls
their
back.
souls back. God damn it.
And they build a team of other people who have sold their souls.
Dude, I'm in.
This book is so fucking cool.
I wish I didn't know any of that. That's awesome.
I
understand it's
I don't think enough people will touch it.
If
because
they don't know.
it's an $8.99 super prestige format book with absolutely no recognizable IP.
Yeah.
This book is so fun.
Oh.
So fun. Like they Lee Garbett does Garbett, whatever. Lee Gourmet does a bunch of really wonderful, like, fun panel things. You know, like when we're in our introduction phase, it shows you with nice little call outs about what they're stealing, how they're stealing it, who's good at what. Like, you, in just 10 pages, you truly fall in love with this couple, who are shady at best. And then it just kind of goes crazy from there. But yeah, hell's a casino, and they're going to rob it.
Wonderful.
This book is so cool.
Yeah.
So cool. Everyone needs to give it a shot. The Big Burn by Joe Henderson, Lee Garbett. Distillery.
Nice. You can't miss it. It's a big magazine size.
Fresh
John.
AF. So good.
Hello, Darkness, my old friend. Hello, Darkness, #1 from Boom Studios, from Garth Ennis, Becky Cloonan, James Tynan IV, Werther Deladara, Jude Ellison, S. Doyle, Letizia Cadonici, Steve Orlando, A.I. Kaplan, Sarah Anderson, Dave Cook, David Cousins, and Robert Hack. There are 2 books that came out this week.
Garth Ennis and Becky Cloonan also.
Those are the first 2 names I said.
How dare you?
This is one of 2 horror anthologies that dropped this week. This one and
Epitaphs from the Abyss,
which is a return
EC
from
Comics.
EC Comics.
Yeah,
the classic. And so, despite EC Comics having the pre-existing IP, quote unquote, both of us went for Hello Darkness instead of the EC book.
We have to read the books pretty fast
to
try and record by at least Wednesday mornings, and I opened the first page of each. Hello Darkness just starts, and Epitaphs of the Abyss from the Abyss has a wall of text, and
from a crypt keeper,
which fun,
yeah,
but also I got to plow through one,
yeah,
and really try and absorb it versus speed round everything.
Yeah.
So I opted for Hello Darkness, and personally, I'm not a fan of anthology books.
I know.
This was awesome.
I like horror anthology books.
They are not all strong, but the ones that are strong
are very strong.
Just
Contagious.
Pull all
great.
Oh, so good. The first one.
I Can't Take You Anywhere.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Wonderful. Just a one pager.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
The bowling one, whatever.
Not so much.
I get what they're trying to do with the bowling one, where it's schlocky, but it's not funny enough.
Yeah, I didn't.
You know, like it's cartoonish, but it's not funny. So there's a disconnect.
It's funny, and the first two big stories are both about sort of like generational horror, right? Then there's Something is Killing the Children.
I want to talk about this bowling one.
Oh, okay.
Because this bowling one is the epitome of why I sometimes don't enjoy horror in comics. Mm-hmm. There is no with horror in movies and television. There are other tools at your disposal. There's music. There's sound effects. You can actually kind of really set an atmosphere. With comics, you've got 2 tools.
Yeah.
2.5. Mm-hmm. So you have to be almost more on the nose in order to kind of get a feeling across. If this was supposed to be silly, it needed to be silly, not just look silly, but read straight.
The only thing silly about it is the last panel.
Exactly, but that's the punchline. Yeah. That's like
and I didn't really care how we got here.
Exactly. Like, right? If it was like we've got a disgraced old bowler who loses his last opportunity to be picked for a national team and goes crazy. Yeah. Ham that up in order to kind of like make me enjoy the schlock of it all versus just I don't care.
Although, you know what? There is a couple bits. He's murdering people in a bowling alley using bowling alley accoutrement. Mm-hmm. And I do like that he puts the one guy in the ball shiner.
Yeah.
And then you can see his skull, and there's a little...
shine.
Yeah, there's a little... what's the word? Sound effect that just says, shine.
Also, as a bowler, I think some of these things may not be obvious to normies. Uh-huh. Like, he suffocates a woman with the...
bowl bag?
A bowl bag.
Yeah.
Which is like it's a cloth porous thing.
Yeah, can you do that?
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway.
But I did love the murder from the ball return. That was my favorite.
Oh, just that was funny.
It just wasn't super strong. But
Something is Killing the Children.
We get a really great Something is Killing the Children.
Part 1.
Something with a siren that I didn't like or understand.
I didn't get that. I didn't get it.
Really
Foster.
Creepy, weird.
Body horror by Steve Orlando.
Didn't even really get the ending, but that's okay.
No,
it was
me neither.
creepy.
Although, I'll say it off air. I think I put it together. And then The War, Part 1 by Garth Ennis and Becky Cloonan.
Awesome.
Which I didn't know they were involved with this because the names are so small in the front. Mm-hmm. So when I got to it, I was like, oh, hey, that's Becky Cloonan. Oh, hey, that's Garth Ennis. It's all conversation.
This one's haunting.
It's off to a good start, though.
There's no
loved it.
There's no way that these people would have these levels of conversation civilly, but yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Somebody would start yelling much sooner than they do.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. This was a really, really strong anthology book.
Yeah.
Having read Creepshow, there's another one recently, another anthology horror book recently. Either way, of all of them, this has been my favorite so far.
Nice.
This is the strongest. Now, the problem with anthology books, though, is issue 2 may not be anywhere near as strong as this. Yeah. So
I will definitely read it for the next parts of Something is Killing the Children and The War by Garth Ennis and Becky Cloonan. I'll definitely read those.
Did we do it? Is that everything?
We did it.
We read so much. Is there stuff you're looking forward to this week?
I am actually gonna read Epitaphs from the Abyss, the new EC book, and then I'm gonna read Berserker, and I'm gonna read
Big
Burn,
baby. I am excited for Supermassive.
Which
2024.
From the Massive Verse. It's the annual that comes out.
I started reading it, didn't get a chance to finish it before we record, but just the first 20 pages is all jaw-dropping, holy shit, spoiler stuff for the ongoing. So
awesome.
This is not a jumping on point at all.
Okay. Yeah.
And then, the norms. Void Rivals, Ultimate Black Panther, Feral.
No one.
Godzilla Skate or Die, no one.
How's Uncanny Valley going?
I read the first one.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. And then tonight, Wednesday night, on the live stream, we're going to be talking about
All-Star Superman.
Yeah, the graphic novel by Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely.
Alice had never read it, so we decided to make her.
We foisted it upon her.
Yeah, we were. She was like, "No, please don't," and we were like,
"Do it."
This is more important than what you care about. How dare you?
So join us for that. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, and we will talk at you later.
Skidoo-doo.
Thank you for listening to the CultPop Network, home to podcasts, live shows, and a whole lot of fun stuff for every flavor of fan. Follow us wherever you find your favorite podcasts, and be sure to join us live every Wednesday night at youtube.com/CultPopGo at 8 p.m. Eastern. While you're there, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you'll know when we drop new Thunder Rounds and episodes of Fresh Floppies, a spoiler-free show about single-issue comics released each week. Until then, we'll talk at you later.